Hi Queens, Happy New Year. This is my Lean Cuisine today. Hi, if you're new to my channel, what I like to do is I like to eat Lean Cuisine for lunch and dinner to help me lose weight. And this is my lunch. It's the first Lean Cuisine of the year. It's my number one favorite Lean Cuisine. Let's have a chat, shall we? Happy New Year's, friends. Cheers. All right, so want to get started. It's January 1st. If you're new to my channel, I do want to explain some things. I'm Christy. I used to weigh 225, and then I came up with the idea of eating Lean Cuisine every day for lunch and dinner in a low calorie deficit to help me lose weight. I was pretty successful in 2025. I got all the way down to 167, which is great. That's a huge loss. But in December, I gained 13 pounds. I attempted to maintain my weight during November and December when it's holiday months, which are the hardest months for me. I know I always gain weight, and I gained 13 pounds in December. So I am today 180. I do know I'm starting back up on my Lean Cuisine, and I'd like to go until my birthday, which is March 13th. It's Friday the 13th this year. I'm turning 36. So I'm going to go for 71 days on a lunch and dinner with Lean Cuisine until my birthday. And my goal is to get to 160 by my birthday. I feel like it's a very achievable goal. I know the next week, I'm probably going to lose like 5 pounds because of all the water weight and everything. I drank last night. It was New Year's. I drank, I ate, I had a great time. I was fat and sassy and merry. And now I'm kind of like in the routine of eating Lean Cuisine or their sister company, Vital Pursuit. I kind of know what I'm doing. I'm feeling more comfortable in my diet. I put a stop limit on myself. My stop limit is 180. It was before 200, but now it is 180. This is like my stop limit is saying, hey, you've reached your 180. You need to wake up. You need to wake up and get back on routine. You cannot keep going to what you're doing. Over Christmas, I ate a whole French silk pie myself. It was delicious and I loved it. But is that realistic? No. So I need to get back on this. I'm a very goal-oriented person, and if I don't have structure or rules, if I don't put rules and structure on myself and pressure myself to do things, then I fail. So here's my new thing I'm doing. I'm going back on it, lunch and dinner every day until my birthday. My calorie limit is 1,200. I did set some exercising goals for myself, like walking 2 miles a day. Very easy. I live in Iowa. It is extremely hard for me to walk outside. I do have asthma, so depending on the weather during winter, it really sucks. But I do have a treadmill, so I'm going to start taking advantage of that more, get my 2 miles in today on my treadmill. I feel like I could probably get back down to 167 by the end of January because it's a longer month. I have placed some more strict rules on myself with exercising, doing more Oculus. I play games on Oculus that get me moving, like kickboxing and dancing. So I feel like maybe I can get down to 167, 170 by the end of the month. Won't be too hard. All right, so I want to talk to you guys about why I do Lean Cuisine. I did get a lot of comments last year about, oh, Lean Cuisine is so high in sodium and it's frozen food. And then I did get extreme amount of positive comments like, why didn't I ever think of this before? This is so easy. What I do with my Lean Cuisine is I imagine it as my base. Because Lean Cuisine and their sister company has so many different options of food. You can switch up your food daily. It's not like when you're meal prepping and you only, I have a budget of $75 to $100 a week for groceries for just myself. So typically if I was to, food prep, it's hard for me because it's like the same meal over and over and over and over and over again. And sometimes I don't like that. And I have a real problem with like eating the same chicken and microwaving it over and over again. I know what you're gonna say, well, these are microwavable meals too, but to me, they don't taste that way. I do things different to them. I start my meals in the microwave for 2 minutes, and then 2 to 3 minutes, and then I get them in the air fryer, and that really helps change the texture of these microwavable meals. It makes it feel more of a fresh meal that you just made out of the oven compared to something that's mushy. I'm a big texture eater, and I typically do not like mushy microwavable food. And also presentation. Making these meals, I make them to look like they're restaurant quality, or they look good, because if they look good and I'm going to eat it, it feels good. This meal right here with everything I have was 444 calories. It was almost 30 grams of protein, and it looks great. And it doesn't cost that much to eat Lean Cuisine, you guys. I can get them from $2.50 all the way up to $5, and that's for Vital Pursuit. And that is high. That I would say the $5 part, that's a little pricey, but sometimes I do have to pay that. So it's cheaper than going to a restaurant. During fall, I kept getting ads for Olive Garden. I love Olive Garden, but to eat there, it really hurts me because I don't have that many calories I can eat. I'm 35 years old. I'm 5'1". I'm female. I have very limited calories to work with. And I know if I go to Olive Garden and eat their food, am I going to be able to control my portion? Or am I just going to be like, oh, this is so good, let me eat, yum, 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 keep eating, yum, yum, yum. With Lean Cuisine, the portion is already made for me. It's already done. I don't have to worry about, like overeating or anything, because this is my portion. It's my base. It tells me my calories. It tells me my protein. And then I just add a ton of veggies on top of it. And I usually get my veggies from Aldi's, and I try to chop them up and put them in the freezer and make money stretch. It is cheaper than buying like HelloFresh or any of those box subscriptions. I have never owned, or I've never had one of those subscriptions before. I have looked at them quite a bit, and I'm like, oh man, this would be a good deal. But for me, it's unrealistic with the money. It's very expensive. Because with my $75 from buying Lean Cuisine, I also have to buy like my snacks. So like I'm buying yogurts or cottage cheese. I have to buy, I allow myself to have 2 sugar-free sodas a day. And so I add that, or I add water. That comes in on my budget. And it doesn't take that long to make these meals. I know it looks like it takes a lot, but I'm doing my prepping while it's in the air fryer. Like the longest it's ever taken me to make one of these meals is 30 minutes, but I can cook my meal for sometimes less than 10 minutes, less than 13 minutes, because while this is either in the microwave or if it's in the air fryer, I am prepping and chopping up my veggies, getting my plate ready, so it is done. So it's very low maintenance, and it's fresh. And most of these meals, the lowest meal is 180 calories, and I think the highest one is 410. And that's reasonable. Unfortunately for me, I have those bad genetics where I have to be on such a low calorie, but other people, they don't have to. A 400 calorie meal, that's wonderful. 500, 600 calories, that's typical for what another person's meal would be. And you can still stay in your range. When we talk about calorie deficit, I want to let you know, I don't count every single vegetable I put on my plate. Sometimes I do, but I'm not counting the tomatoes. I'm not counting the cabbage, the onions. I'm not counting limes. Are we kidding me? I'm not doing that. So even though I say it's 1,200 calorie deficit diet that I like to keep track of, I'm not counting the veggies, okay? Potatoes, yes, I would count potatoes because it's, French fries, yum, I have to count those. This is going to be my first meal of the year, and I hope you guys follow me to see how my progress turns out. I'm going to do weigh-ins every single Friday, and that's it. I hope you guys have a good day. Bye, Queens.